My name is Chase Johnson. I'm from Denver, Colorado, and we have used C3 Group several times on some of our large loss commercials and our higher end residential for their appraisal services and their public adjusting services. Their knowledge of the market, of the ever-changing regulations, and their ability to create a very thorough estimate from an understanding of construction and the management of the project.
Hey there, hail stalkers. This is Derek Klein. We are here. This is not lead meteorologist John Choquette here today, but we are here. We had the 8th 5-star map of the year. That's right, we've had 8 this year. And so we're here to discuss what happened yesterday in Minneapolis. Some pretty cool stuff actually took place. Was unforecasted. Obviously, I'm green here. I'm actually wearing the green shorts today, so I can come up. You can see there, I got the shorts on. So we are here to walk through basically everything that happened the last couple of days. So let's jump in. A big special shout out again to our sponsors here. We got the C3 Group. We've got the Merlin Law Group sponsoring us. We really do appreciate everything that those guys are doing for us here. See if I can make that name pop off there. There we go. And so again, big shout out to those guys for sponsoring, making this happen. And some of the stuff that I'm going to talk about coming up here in the video here briefly, they are also helping to sponsor some of the research that we're doing. And again, like I said in the post, it's going to change the way that you view hail across the industry, and I think in a big way. So let's go ahead and dive right on in here to the forecast here. So I've got to get my PowerPoint up here. All right, here we go. So dive on in here. And as always, you know, we've got the brand new website here, at least it's brand new to some of you. So launched this back in January. If you need any help, just reach out to us. Super easy to get a hold of us. We've got training videos. We've got a lot of ways to help you out. Don't be sitting around not understanding how to use this app, okay? This app will make you money if you will use it. So spend the time to use it, okay? So that's my lecture for the industry. Here it is, though. Check it out. Yesterday's big 5-star hail map. And it's there. Check it out. Look at this storm developed right back up here to the northwest of St. Cloud, and it really took off. And this area right in here just got pummeled. I mean, we're talking some massive hail. I think I saw some pictures of hail close to 5 inches, 5-inch in diameter. This might be a state record. I don't know what the state record is for Minnesota, but this would be up there in the ballpark, I'm sure. So I'm sure it's somewhere between 5 and 6 inches, if not 4.5. So some absolutely massive hail occurred, and you get this storm that kind of comes down, recycles, does it again, and then recycles, and then spins and comes all the way down. We actually have another one that fires up and then comes down and also goes in. This hail back down here to the southwest, a little bit more isolated, so you're not going to see the same volume of, give me that perp right in here, right? So up in here, definitely much more higher intensity with the larger hail that fell. So keep that in mind. It doesn't mean that there's not damage in these areas, but it does mean that the damage is probably more severe up in the St. Cloud area. So that's just some things to kind of keep in mind when you're actually taking a look at that. But all of this happens right in here based off of an outflow boundary. We had showers actually up to the north near Duluth early in the morning, and even kind of some of this hail right in here shoved out a boundary that basically sagged and kind of paralleled itself right in here. Storm fired on it. We didn't see that this boundary was actually going to come out and then just kind of anchor itself here. Well, when this storm went up, it anchored on that outflow boundary and then just ran southwest all the way, or southeast, all the way to the north side of the Minneapolis metro. Again, producing hail anywhere from 2 to 3 to 4 and even 5-inch in diameter. I'm going to show you some of those pictures. But when you get this result, that's right, here it is. The 5-star dance right there, tearing it up. That's right, we love it. Time for the 5-star map. And here are the stats. So the map name is St. Cloud to Blaine to Shoreview, and obviously it hit a lot of towns in between. Again, max hail size, we listed it at 4. I did see a photo though. I'm thinking 5-inch probably could go in that number right there. And then 138,000 houses, almost 139,000 houses impacted with at least 1 inch hail. So we're talking the yellow here. If we take the yellow, combine them all up, we get a number of 138,000 houses inside of that area. So a lot of people hit and turned into a big storm. Check this out. This photo up from near the St. Cloud area. Look at it. Look, it's like a whole bucket full of big hail. That's pretty awesome. Like all those back there, they're bigger than that quarter in that bucket. That's some massive hail inside of there. Check this one. Yeah, so here's the one. Look at this right here. So there is the end of the tape measure right there. So they even actually have the hailstone floated past. And if we come all the way down to this tip right here, check that out. 5 inches right there. Boom, that is a massive hailstone. I don't know, these could be bigger, I don't know. That's some massive hail falling. And then again, up in the St. Cloud area, look at all of them. Huge hail, bunch of them too, all in his hand right there. This was hard hail too. This was not soft hail, guys. So the way that this actually falls, so the tumbling effect, what it's doing is it's actually, there is some melting that happens, but what you see here is actually the hail across the bottom here. And then so the melting is actually, and the sticking of the other ice objects is happening on the top side of the hailstone. And that's kind of why you see almost like a meteor. So if you think about it falling like this, and then everything's kind of flailing off the back as the hailstone comes slamming down to the ground. But I did see, we actually saw some photos of divots in the dirt from hailstones like this. So it was some impressive hail. We've seen some busted out windshields. So there's definitely is some damage in there. I don't know if every area had hard or soft hail, and that's actually what we're going to talk about coming up here in just a few minutes, because there's a lot of research that needs to be done on what is hard and soft hail and where it's at. So let's take a look at the forecast for today, and this is a little bit different than the storm prediction forecast. Again, we don't go off of that. We do that on our own. So for Saturday, June 27th, I'm watching a little area here. I think there's going to be a line of storms that's going to form probably kind of dead center of that yellow area there that we got. I think it will stay just north of Chicago, but there could be some isolated golf ball size hail in here. Chances only around 5%. Not real keen on this area, but this is what it looked like yesterday too, guys. So Minneapolis ended up getting popped. It actually was, if you would take this area and shift it just to the north of Minneapolis, that's what it looked like yesterday. So is it possible that Chicago or Davenport or La Crosse or, heck, Des Moines down here, is it possible that they could get some hail? Absolutely, it's possible. Anything can happen. Summertime weather patterns, extremely hard to forecast, but I'm more confident back here. Front range is going to fire up this afternoon. We've got the cold front dragging across, making the winds upslope wind, jet stream coming across the top, and I think that we do have at least a normalized halfway decent chance for some large hail anywhere from Denver all the way up to Rapid City. We're going about 15% chance on both of those. Here's a look at the models you can see here. So here's the little line that I talked about. Again, isolated cells. Right now, it doesn't look like a lot's going to happen. The lift and kind of the conditions that we see that we need for big time weather, not really showing up very well right there. But we're going to have to watch it. It's going to be hot. It's going to be unstable. So you get one of these cells and it can take an outflow boundary or get something just right, and all of a sudden we get some big hail. And as we come back here to the Mountain West here, you can see all the showers and thunderstorms that develop. I think as they roll off the mountains, they should actually form into a pretty good complex right in here. And you can see right as it gets into this area, we will not have hail. So it's mainly in the early goings, and so we're going to be watching Denver and Rapid City for having the better chances. Here's our forecast timing from 4 to 9 p.m. I think today's pretty early. I think most of the big hail moves out into the plains, forms into a complex, and then we just get kind of a wind and rain threat when that happens. But again, for Denver and Rapid City, max hail size, we'll go with golf balls. I think the majority of the hail will be smaller than golf balls, but it's worth watching. Chance of hail, this is 1 inch or larger, 15% for Denver and Rapid City, and then about a 10% chance that we can make a 3-star map or better across parts of the Denver Rapid City metro. So here's what we got going though. Told you that soft and hard hail is definitely something that the industry, we don't know a lot about. One of the things that we don't know is what is soft and what is hard. Like physically, what actually makes a hailstone soft or hard? How hard does it have to be soft or hard, right? What makes it damaging? That's actually something that that has never been set. Science has never done research on that, and Hilltrace is about to make some changes to that. So this is what's changing, right? We're going to know physically what's hard or soft, and I can't take contractors. I love you guys, but I can't take what you tell me is damaging and not, because most of the time I get 3 different stories on every single hailstorm, believe it or not, right? I get one guy that calls and tells me there's no damage. Maybe it's because he can't find damage, or maybe it's because he doesn't want me to know that there's damage. I don't know which one it is, but I get one guy that'll tell me that there's no damage. I get another guy that tells me that it's $1 million hailstorm. So we just don't really know. I can't tell if there's damage or not produced from each individual hailstorm that happens. So what we want to do is we want to do our own research. We want to find that out. So next week, that's what we're going to be doing. So we've been building these rockets. These are actually the fins we had to physically make. So we had to actually hand sand and build these fins for these rockets that we're actually going to shoot up into the hailstorm, or actually right outside of the hailstorm. It's going to allow us to get a profile of the atmosphere out ahead of the storm, so we can see what air is actually going into the storm. I think this was actually the GPS sensor. We got to find the rocket in order to be able to see what it's doing. So this is the GPS sensors. Chris White was actually the one. He actually had to hand solder everything that we needed and then solder it into all of our different sensors. So here it is completed. You can see we've got the GPS soldered onto the board. We've got the antenna on here, and it actually goes up inside of this nose cone of the rocket. We also have sensors in there excuse me, that will measure wind. We also have sensors that will measure the humidity and the pressure as this goes up. And then the GPS will actually give us altitude, so we can tell how high the rocket actually got. Did it get a half a mile in the air? Did it get higher? Did it get lower? We'll actually be able to record all of that. And so it's going to give us a lot of data. Now, in addition to that, what we're going to do is we're going to shoot this rocket into the hailstorm, and then we're going to go into the hailstorm itself. So this goes up out ahead of the hailstorm. We drive into the hailstorm, and we have a lot of different things that we're going to be able to use to measure the intensity impact that hailstorm had. Okay, so we're going to be able to measure, this was a golf ball size hailstorm in this storm, but this golf ball size hailstorm in this other storm didn't do the same amount of damage on the same surface, right? So we're going to actually be able to set the bar of where soft and hard hail actually occurs. So pretty excited. Here's a look at all of our rockets. You can see we've got the green parachutes, we've got the red nose cones, and these rockets again go off, and all of our sensors go up inside of here, and we have to go hunt these down after they fall. That's the purpose of the GPS. Here they are all completed. Definitely very excited. They look cool. Chris has done an awesome job working on these. They're 2 foot tall. These are not small. And then the other day we actually did our second test launch here, and there it is. Boom, blast off, taking off. You can see everybody back here behind my shoulder. There's Chris over there enjoying his work, taking off. And so we sampled this rocket. It worked. We got all the sensors. We got all the measurements that we wanted. And it's been a ton of fun actually going through the process of doing that. So we'd love any support that you guys have for us on this. Again, this is going to change some of the problems we think that we're going to be able to solve with actually determining soft and hard hail. First of all, we're looking for sponsors on this, so if anybody's interested, please let us know. This is not cheap to do if you can't tell, and so any help that we can do. But some of the problems that we're looking to solve when it comes to these rockets, we're looking to solve the issues of how much damage was actually at an area, right? So a lot of times sometimes you guys drive or fly, and this could be insurance companies or it could be roofing contractors, doesn't matter who you are, but a lot of times you're driving all the way across the country with the expectation that baseball size hail fell, but you get there and you don't find any damage because it was snowballs, right? So the goal is to figure that out, okay? And what we're going to be able to do by figuring that out is we're going to be able to determine the damage potential that will occur from a particular hailstorm. So it's going to help people on both sides of the fence, whether it's insurance or restoration work, because the restoration side, it's going to let you know should you actually be in that area, or is this maybe a local storm that they're going to be working, or maybe it's a mixture of both. And then on the insurance side, they need to know how much money they just lost, right? So these storms are expensive for them, and so that'll give them the idea of what they just lost. So a lot of cool stuff happening, and there's a lot more that we're going to be able to do with this research on top of what I just said. So we've got a lot of really neat ideas that we're pumping through right now. So super excited to have this. We actually leave out looks like Monday, and we're going to be doing this research, and I'll probably do a live video from out in the field as we get into next week as well, so it'll be a lot of fun. But we're gonna learn a lot that's gonna change the way that both sides of the fence actually work hailstorm. So we're super excited about the research and what we've got going on. So here's a look at actually where we're looking at targeting next week. So it's kind of your 5-day forecast, right? Monday, Saturday, Sunday actually looks like it will be fairly active out here in the high plains. We're not gonna be able to make it up there by then. So we're looking at driving up to the north on Monday, targeting this area on Tuesday, and then driving back to the west for hopefully western or eastern Montana on Wednesday. Then that storm system sags to the southeast. We'll have Thursday, Friday, and right now Saturday doesn't look very good, but we'll have to keep an eye on that. But that's kind of the target areas that we've got in place right now for our storm chasing. So again, guys, appreciate you guys for watching. It's been a lot of fun, a lot of cool stuff coming up. Just because it's summer and hail tends to slow down, we're not slowing down. We've got our foot on the gas pedal for you guys. We want to do a lot of things that are going to change this industry. And as always, to keep up with that, make sure that you're following us on Facebook. So click that follow button, and if you click see first, it's going to make sure that Facebook moves you past the algorithm to actually show our stuff to you, so that way you can see exactly what's going on here at HailTrace. And again, keeping you at the forefront of what's going on in this industry as well, no matter what side of the fence you lie on. So here's a look at how to get in touch with us. If you have any questions, if there's anything that we can help out with, again, on Instagram at HailTrace, we're on Twitter at HailTrace, info@hailtrace.com. You've seen us on Facebook at HailTrace as well. Our phone number is 855-334-4245, and our website, hailtrace.com. Super easy to get a hold of us, and just reach out. We're here. We've got a little chat feature on the website, whatever we can do to help you guys out. And appreciate you guys for watching. Hope you have a great Saturday. Those of you in Minnesota, enjoy, and we'll talk to you next time.